it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and today we're going to do some stump grinding. Yesterday I received this Baumalight stump grinder and got it unpacked, set up, and we ground out one small stump. But that really wasn't much of a test for that stump grinder. Up here I've got a 20-inch stump and a 24-inch stump, and they're both cut about 2 feet high off the ground. So we're going to try to test this thing out a little bit more and see how it handles these bigger stumps. I think so that I can get a comparison, I'm going to cut one of them off closer to ground level and grind the other one from full height. So I'm planning to use this stump grinder for a little bit of a side income, and I need to know which way is better. I'm pretty sure it's going to be worth it to cut that extra height off of the stump, because I don't want to just wear out my teeth gnawing up 2 foot of stump. The machine is capable of it if that's what you need to do. Now, what I'm working on here is the land in front of me, which is about 4 acres in front of the house, between the house and the road, is used for hay production. And overall, we've got about 7 to 10 acres of our 20-acre property that's good for hay. But I would like to, over time, expand that out and clear some more of this area and see if we can get hay production up here too. Now, part of this on the hill will never be suitable for that, and I actually don't want to clear all of the land. But this area right here is really not good for anything. Primarily what's here right now is a bunch of thorn briars, some rock piles, just kind of a wasted area. So I'm going to try to clean it up. That's going to start in this video with getting these stumps out. Then in the next video, we're going to get the grapple down here, dig into those piles. We've got one tree to cut down, and then we'll run the brush hog across the whole thing and see if we can get this cleaned up and usable. So I think I'll do this one first that I'm going to cut off, and then we'll grind it out, and then I'll grind the other one from full height. So let's get started. So I've cut down quite a few trees over the years, but I've never cut off a stump like this that was already down. So I think once I get halfway cut through, I'll drive some wedges in to keep the weight of the stump off of the chain. If there's a better way that I'm not thinking of, let me know about it in the comments. As you can see, I didn't take a very good angle on this, which resulted in making it a lot more difficult whenever I was trying to cut through on the low side. This is only my second time using this stump grinder, so I'm really still just getting the hang of how fast to go and how much to take off per pass. A little bit after this, I realized that there's a flow limiter on the hydraulic hoses for the side-to-side movement, and I turned that down, which let me be a little bit more confident with my passes.
Went for a walk with the stars last night. Did not believe that I would end up right. Lucky endings were not something for me. I drove around all across the land. Thought that I was caught in a one-man band, but playing all those sad and lonely songs. My faith was lost, my hope was gone. My dreams were shattered and I was done. I was roaming down the street in my weary feet, and then you came along with the love so strong. You took me out of the cold into the fire. You picked me up when I'm down on the ground. Whenever I'm low, you are lifting me higher. And when I am lost, you make sure that I'm found. Out of the cold into the fire. Out of the cold into the fire. This is too good for a man like me, be treated by someone so tenderly. I'm afraid that I might.
Alright, well, we're only halfway through the video. We're only halfway done with the stump grinding, but it's starting to get dark out, so I'm going to get back to this tomorrow morning, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, so where we finished up last night was finding a rock in the middle of this stump. And when I say found it, I mean I saw sparks flying off whenever the teeth were hitting it. So rock's right here. You can only see the top of it, which is fairly small. Judging by the other rocks I have dug out around here, there's a good chance that's actually a massive rock underneath. So I did a little bit of research on what to do when you hit a rock with the stump grinder, and you actually can grind out a small rock, but it's going to be hard on your teeth, and replacing these teeth is not cheap. So what I'm going to try to do is grind off all of this area behind it, and then grind off on each side and knock it out with a hammer and a pry bar or a pickaxe. So here we go. I've noticed that the videos don't often do justice to the size of something. For instance, this stump does not look that big, but it was 36 inches at the base, and when you factor in all of the surface roots that we ground out, it was about 4 feet wide. It doesn't look like I'm taking much off here, but it's actually quite a bit per pass.
Out of bed, and I still got you in my head from all those pretty words you said. It's like I'm wasted. Every time I see your face, I'm losing track of time and space. I don't know where I am. It's like I'm wasted, and I won't waste it. And I promise that I will stand by you forever. I can't get you out of my mind. I will follow you wherever, and I won't waste this. Ooh. closer now, 'cause I don't wanna slow this down. My heart is screaming out your name. I'm wasted on you. Here we are, right underneath the stars. So let's get a little reckless. You make me breathless, and I won't waste this. And I promise that I will stand by you forever.
At this point, I'm realizing that there's more than one rock in here, and I tried to see if I could pop them out or break up those rocks with the pickaxe, and that really didn't work very well.
I promise that I will stand by you forever, and I won't waste this. I'll follow you, yeah. I'll follow you, yeah.
Alright, so if you've ever wondered why the channel's called Rock Hill, the whole hill is just a big pile of rocks. So we have a rock here, have a rock here, and a rock here. The one right here I can tell is at least 2 foot wide underground. I'd removed a lot of this rock before I even realized it was rock, because it's kind of a soft sandstone. So we're gonna pick out as much of this as we can, but we may end up grinding through a lot of it. It's hard on the teeth, but you do what you gotta do. At this point, I moved up to the front of the stump, and I'm getting it all the way down below grade. And then we moved back up to where those rocks were. Then we ended up finding a rock in this part too. Basically, the entire thing was rock, and it almost would have been easier just to grind through it all. Although I did manage to break up quite a bit with the sledgehammer here in a minute. At this point, you'll see me grind right up to the rock and then lift the grinder up to give us better access to try to break it up. Guys, I'm sure there's 1,000 ways I can do this better. So if you're experienced with a stump grinder, specifically a 3-point stump grinder, let me know in the comments how I could do it better. It's kind of hard to tell in this camera angle, but I broke this rock up pretty good and made it where we can grind through this spot. This rock I'm hitting right now is the first one we saw, right in the center of the stump. I'm able to break it up pretty well too. Just takes quite a few swings. So the entire stump, except for that root ball up at the top, is already below grade, but I want to get it down as low as I can and then get it covered over. The wheel will cut out this sandstone, but I want to save my wheel as much as I can, so I busted it with a sledgehammer, and I'm able to pull these small chunks out now, and I can now grind below ground level on that one. I never got this one all the way out, but we're going to cut through it. This root ball goes all the way back here, making the total grind area about 4 feet. So this was a good first challenge for this new grinder. Alright, you can see the size of rock we're dealing with around here. That this thing is enormous. I was able to grind the stump around the rocks, and we're below grade everywhere but right here. So I'm going to go get the bucket, see if I can rip this rock out or not, and then cover back over and this stump will be done. That stump and that rock were grown together so much that they lifted out like one piece. Alright, well, I was intending to take out 2 stumps today, but I didn't realize that this stump was going to be completely full of rocks. So, I learned a few things, learned a little bit how to use my equipment, and the stump's gone, so I'm happy with the project. I appreciate you taking time to watch. In a minute, you'll see links to a couple more of our videos right here, and I'll see you next time.